Okay, the banana is back, and this time it's gone pro. If you have been following AI news, you know that Nano Banana, the internal code name for Google's Gemini image model, took the world by storm back in August. It was fast, it was free, and it was actually really good. Today, we are looking at Nano Banana Pro. This is the upgraded, higher tier version that Google just rolled out. We are talking native 4K resolution, actually legible text that doesn't look like alien gibberish, and character consistency that is honestly a little scary. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use it, the specific prompts you need to unlock its pro features. Let's dive in. So before we get deeper into this, you need an API key to access Nano Banana Pro. They start right there. We have Nano Banana Pro. I think its name actually is going to be Gemini 3 Pro image preview model. And you can link an API key. I actually went ahead and linked it in my other tabs in here, and I have a lot of examples to show you guys. Some where it works great, some where it not so much. Okay, let's go for it. So one of the things that this model is really good at is using its own reasoning and real-time information. So you can see that right now the text is actually pretty good, and it is able to understand these stars and cosmic journey of star and how a star gets formed and then how it dies out as well into a black hole or a black dwarf. And it also adds this Chandrasekhar limit in here, which talks about, actually I don't know what it talks about, so I'm not going to try to talk about it, but let's see. It's a pretty good image. I don't know what other people think about it, but this is a pretty good image, and if you want, you can control the resolution in here as well. So you can make this image much bigger. I think these are upscaling on top, not a native generation, but I could be wrong. So just so people can see, I'm using some of the prompts in here. I generated detailed educational infographic. We asked specifically for a life cycle of star. We also asked it to generate the fact box at the bottom with did you know. So it actually did follow really all the instructions in here very well. If you haven't seen my Gemini video, you should see that its thought token is actually pretty good. And the way you can actually see thought tokens in much better detail in here because it gathers the data, builds the process, builds the image that it needs to show you, and then it actually constructs and checks it as well to confirm that it actually does work in the way it wants it to, that we want it to, and then it presents it to the user. So there is essentially gathering, generating, and then confirming steps that are happening in between. Let me show you some other examples. Here, we asked it to generate the cloud bread based upon the current search results. We asked it to do a flat lay of the photo, fully finished bread on a marble counter, surrounded by exact ingredients that we need, and a recipe card next to it showing the bake time. So here we have, it shows the bake time specifically in here. We have the bread, we have all the ingredients around it as well. It even has the Greek yogurt, and thankfully it doesn't show me the brand name in here, but this looks pretty realistic to me. I don't know, that's not how clean my counter looks, but this one is pretty good. Moving on, we have a futuristic cyberpunk street food. So this one, so actually talk about this one. This example might not be great because we're asking for current search results, but we are only looking for something that does not change as much. But you could look for some new term that is popular right now on social media or any of the search engine locations, and you can use that to provide information to the model. We have on the right hand side here grounding with Google search, where it collects this information from Google search and then uses all that context to generate this information. So you can see this one, it doesn't seem like it actually did any searches, did it? It did some searches in here. But yeah, it generated a pretty good image in here. Okay, moving on in here, we asked for a futuristic cyber street poster. We are trying to figure out in here multiple languages. So we said the sign should say neon noodles in English with a subtitle below saying best in the city in Japanese kanji, and open 24/7 in Korean. All text should be legible and distinct. Now, I don't know kanji and I definitely don't know Korean, but English to me looks great. I don't know about other things in here. The image also looks great. It's very cyberpunk theme. I'm sad they're still using these gas cylinders and these very small chairs, which doesn't seem like you can sit on them. But otherwise, the image looks very well generated, specifically on the text and language conversion side in here. So the model can not only generate English text, but also can generate non-English and multiple other languages as well. Next, I put the model through some texture challenges in here. So in this one, we are asking the model to generate a high fashion magazine cover featuring the word organic written entirely out of moss and some wildflowers growing on the stone wall. Typography should be elegant and readable with a soft morning light in the texture. So it went with Vogue on the right side. I don't know why it had to do that. I would have used organic up here, but it actually performed pretty well. Like the theme, everything around the color, the texture, the even the color within the font itself, all of those are pretty much on point. Model stress is also on point. The text is pretty legible in here. And yeah, it did seems like a pretty good job. Most of the text that I see that uses these themes in here is flat, laid flat, or it's like very voxel like 3D. But in this one, I love how it's like within a wall, and it looks still pretty legible. Yeah, so pretty good from my side. Okay, this one was fun one where we tried to create a consistency by design. That's the thing that we're going for in here. We asked it to create 5 characters and keep them consistent across 3 different selfies that they're taking. One in a tavern, one fighting a dragon in a cave, and one resting by the campfire. So we see how it looks. Let's say this is in a tavern, they are having fun. Some details in here, you can see the hammer on his armor in here. You can see the cut on his face here. I don't know other visual consistencies, but let's see if those remain. So yeah, the cut is still there. The hammer icon is still here. Hammer shape or visual, I don't know what it's called. And this another cut that I was remember from the previous one is still here. It's very interesting that they can take a selfie in here while fighting a dragon. And this is by a campfire, so similar-ish theme. I also like how you see that photo realistically in here. The lighting on this face is much different than lighting on this face, where the background is much more lit up, versus similarly here where the background has fire. So this is a little bit darker shade in here. And we see the hammer sigil is still here. And the beard is also very similar. So character consistency is maintained. Pretty much very well done in here in all of these 3 photos. I wish we could do the same thing. I actually don't know if it does, but I would want to generate. Oh, it does. So like I'm looking for the variation in the shields. The shield does look the same between these 2 different cuts. Like you see the 2 notches on the shield in here. So it's not just characters, it also looks like the armor or the things that they're holding are also, their weapons and shields are also maintained consistently. Okay, let's go in here. This is the fun one where we asked it to do concept to reality blend in here, where we asked it to take a shoe, take a nature inspired theme in here and generate new shoes for us. It got Converse. This is kind of old theme, but you can change this with a sketch of a shoe. You can change this with any other texture and try to see if it actually generates something that looks realistic to you. This to me is actually really nice because you could do the same color with a panther in here as well, but these dots are actually the one that give it a gecko feel. And that, along with this pattern on the sole in here of the shoe, to me makes it actually, yeah, this is the one that I was looking for versus just the color. Yes, this is pretty good in here as well. Okay, this is the one where it failed for me for the first time, where I was trying to do a cinematic studio quality creative controls in here. And the thing that I'm looking for in here is the consistency, not only in what I'm looking at, but also in the scene. Like I just want to freeze the scene and be able to look at the same scene from different angles. So in this example, we started with a detective in here standing in the rain, and you see how the detective is just standing with its feet apart. He's not walking or anything, and the rain is falling around them. The scene is very realistic. This is amazing on its own. But when I ask it to do a tilt close-up, it looks like the detective is actually walking. And what I was going for is I just would love to freeze the scene, just pan the camera down, or I actually don't know what it's called in technical terms, but get my camera closer to his shoes and take a picture from here. And rather than that, it tried to make it more cinematic, which I understand fine, but didn't do what I was asking it to do. And then on top of that, I asked it to do that. Scenes are not actually consistent. I tried to course correct it, and there's some error happening. I tried it a few times, but the error was still persisting. Hopefully they solve it before the release tomorrow, but no, if not, we will see when it gets solved. Okay, another one in here. I asked it to create a futuristic 3D diagram of a city in the for a science fair poster. This is again, it's a lightning one in here. We are trying to figure out. Oh, sorry, no, this is the lightning one. It's like just a kitchen sink prompt. We are trying to do multiple things in here. We are trying to go with something that it can understand, like solar panels, wind energy, vertical garden, vertical farming in here. It's also using the buses more than cars. That's what we are going for. Oh, I see a car in here. But essentially, it's a sustainable city diagram. A lot of bridges in here in this city. But yeah, it did pretty good. Future living, the exact thing we asked for. All the text is very legible. The style is consistent across everything that it has put up. None of these things look too off from each other. It's fully consistent design, and it did in the way that we wanted it to do. Actually, yes, you can see the languages in here. These are also in different languages between all these three. Wind energy, I think we went for Spanish, French, and English. Yeah, so all three of those pointing to the city, and clay motion model that we go for. And for so this was actually pretty good. I love this one. Another one that I generated was, did I miss one here? We'll come back to that. Another one, of course, buy the dip. It's a funny reaction image where our hamster wants to buy the dip because gold price just went down. It's also, we can see the financial stuff in here, some coffee in the morning. My guy just woke up and had to go buy the dip. I'm trying to read if it says MacBook Pro. It is a MacBook Pro, but I was trying to see if it could say that. It doesn't seem like it does say that. It doesn't seem like it says that. Okay, moving on. This was a fun one. I was out of like some random ideas and I wanted to just try out something new. So I asked it to create a 3D map of San Francisco, where from the top side view, make it a fantasy realm, focus on the older, more historical buildings. It got only 2 buildings. I don't know unless I'm missing something in here. Oh, it got the Coit Tower as well. I guess this is city center, but essentially to me it got only 3 buildings in this case, 1, 2, and 3. Didn't get Transamerica Pyramid, unless it thinks that this one with the flag is the Oracle Park. It didn't get that either. Also, Oracle Park is on the other side of the bridge, but it got actually pretty much a lot of good details. This is not Golden Gate, by the way. This is supposed to be Bay Bridge if it's actually trying to go for the how the city is laid out, and this would be Bay Bridge, and Golden Gate Bridge be on the other side. Will be on the other side, but actually did considering like San Francisco, we got the Coit Tower here, we got the ferry building over here, we got a bridge that is coming into the city on the other side, we got some walls around. San Francisco is not a fully island nation, but island nation I'm going for, but yeah, it's not an island city, but we got most of these things in here. It's a fantasy world, so I will let it take some creative liberties in here. Again, I tried to do a follow-up prompt in here and it didn't work. I think this is something to do with a follow-up prompt in here rather than instruction following, or follow like just something going on in here. I don't know. I'll let somebody figure it out. Okay, moving on. This is where it failed fully for me, where I asked it to generate 3 different blueprint variations for a 2-bed 2-bath house. The house should face northeast and has a mango tree in the front and rose bushes and lemon tree in the backyard. It tried to use Mermaid. Mermaid is essentially a language that you can use to generate the images, generate the diagrams. I don't know why it did not generate these automatically. It generated 3 different Mermaid diagrams, did not generate those images for me. So I don't know where it messed up, and when I asked it to see the images, it did not work. I think there's something actually wrong between when I pass a follow-up prompt and for it to actually give me the answer for that. Moving on, I took my idea from the earlier San Francisco map and I wanted to do a chase in here where we start at the ferry building and then we go and hunt at different places. So this is the Dragon's Gate, this is in Chinatown, the Whispering Woods. There's actually are like fairly consistent locations based upon the way these are set up. Some of these are kind of off because the Coit Tower is actually behind in here, behind the city center. The sunken mission, it's actually fine in here. The painted ladies are actually much closer to the Dome Palace. But if you're looking at this as a fantasy map, I'm fine it taking more liberties in here. It also missed a bridge between these. But it's pretty good. I love this map because it's like, it's amazing if you're trying to go for your D&D team and you want to figure out how just create a virtual world from based upon a current city. And these whispering woods, I love these. This is Golden Gate Park in here. Okay, moving on. I asked it to create an infographic on how to make spicy margarita. It's pretty good. It says exactly how to do, what are the ingredients that we're gonna need, how you're gonna prep it, how do you mix the cocktail, how do you garnish and serve. Very well designed in here. I wish it used a different glass in here, but this works for me. Okay, I'm going on a trip with some friends, so I asked it to create a mood board essentially for Point Reyes, and it created some fun hikes that we can do in Point Reyes, some brunch and local bites that we could do in there, some activities that I can do with friends as well. So this is actually pretty nice. This is if your friends are the kind that don't want to get out of the house and you want to excite them with some fun mood boards inspirations in here, this would be amazing to show your friends and get them excited about an upcoming trip. Last few in here. This one was fun because I wanted to see how good is the character consistency when I give it an image. So I gave it an image of my dog where he's snowboarding. Color says George is this photo, and it actually generated pretty good photos. So these are actually my dogs. This dog looks very much like my dog, and I think it is, as much as I can tell, my dog. Snowboarding, George loves snowboarding, so he would be surprised that somebody got photos like this of him. Finally, I think here we are. Is there anything else? Oh, one more. So this one, I read a book earlier this year where it was very fun book, but essentially octopus and spiders and humans met in the space. This is kind of controversial in the sense that they are not wearing any face masks, and why are all of these humans? Why aren't there actual octopus and spiders outside? It just changed the ships to look like those versus the actual. I wanted an actual octopus to come out of the octopus ship. But again, I did not give it a lot many instructions in here. I just said a spaceship of octopus meeting a spaceship of spiders with human mediating the meeting. Last one, this is a fun one. I just wanted to give it a try. A Spider-Man in India. This looks amazing. Spider-Man is actually wearing a kurta rather than a Spider-Man suit, which is kurta is an Indian dress, and with the complete mask. And I love this on the side that I don't know the name of this piece of clothing, but a lot of Indian people you'll see them wear this. But yeah, this is a fun one. I'll leave you here with Spider-Man. Have fun and give it some try. Let me know what other prompts you would like me to try out, and I can run those for you, and we can see how it performs on your prompts. Let's try to break the model. All right, have fun, everybody.